Sonia grew up in New York and started a career in fashion at age 16, winning first prize and $200 in a fashion design contest. A scholarship at the Fashion Design Institute of Technology in New York followed. She married a fellow student and moved to Jamaica, where she created Sunny Swimwear. Her designs were featured in such magazines as Cosmopolitan, Essence, and the coveted Sports Illustrated swimwear issue. While still living in Jamaica, she devoted 8 years to being chairperson and fundraiser for a free daycare in an impoverished community. That was followed by a 6-year stint with a role in a soap opera. Sonia remarried and emigrated to Canada in 2002. Since arriving here, she has worked in the movie industry, volunteered at Crossroads Hospice, and joined the Wilson Senior Care Compassion Program. These days, she is happiest when she's expressing herself as an artist working in acrylics. Sonia.
Just so you know, I went to Jamaica 52 years ago. So some of the slides you're going to see are a bit dated, but it will tell you that I lived there for 42 years. So I feel I should be a Jamaican by proxy because I can say, yeah man, Jamaica, no problem. And hello to the fellow Jamaican that spoke earlier on. I continued to do my modeling stints, which I had started doing in New York. At that time, you didn't have to be 6 feet tall and 100 pounds. You were allowed to be short and a little fat. Anyway, I designed swimwear for women and men, and that's still one of my modeling pictures. But I helped the government show fashions in the various islands in the Caribbean. And my swimwear was shown in Ighetto, which is a swimwear show in Düsseldorf, Germany. I also sold my designs to Macy's and Bergdorf Goodman. And most of the pictures are not going to follow my story, but eat your heart out. My husband became a career diplomat, and we traveled through Europe and South America and the Far East. And at that time, Jamaica was host to many celebrities, including Bishop Tutu, heads of states, Her Royal Highness Queen Elizabeth, and at a dinner in her honor, I made my dress out of one of my tablecloths. But that's another story that I will tell later. Tonight, I'm going to speak about my children and a special child that I got to know. His name was Noel. When I was expecting my third baby, I wanted a girl very badly. I had had 2 boys, and at that time there was no ultrasound, and both births were by forceps. So I went to prenatal classes, and I wanted to have a natural birth. When the baby came out, my doctor said, "Sonia, I'm sorry, it's another boy." And I said, "Thank you, thank you." He said, "I don't think you heard me. It's a boy." I said, "I couldn't care if it was a monkey. I had him naturally, no forceps." Anyway, from there, I realized that my chances of having a girl were pretty poor. I figured, 3 lovely boys is better than 4 lovely boys. So the playpen remained, but the factory was shut down. Anyway, fate had other plans for me. Noel, a newspaper boy with torn shoes, came into my office. He brought a newspaper called The Star. This newspaper was equivalent to The Inquirer. It came out every Friday, and it had every scandal that was going on. And when he came in, I hardly looked up. He said, "Will you buy paper from me?" And I said, no, I'm not interested. He said, "I'm going to give it to you." Oh my God, what a salesman. Well, Noel kept coming back, and I had to buy that paper every week, week in and week out, because I fell in love with Noel. He was a little black boy with hazel eyes. I started buying him shoes, clothing, helping with school fees, whatever. And then Christmas came around, and he said, "It's Christmas, And I said, "Yes, I'm going to buy a present for you." He said, No, I don't wish a present. Could you buy a Christmas dinner for my family?" At 8 years old, I thought that was incredible. And I said, no, I'll get something for you, but what would you like for Christmas? He says, well, we normally have codfish, but could you buy chicken for us? Well, of course, my heart just opened up and, you know, the usual turkey, ham, everything. I delivered groceries to his house and found out that that was not his family. Noel had been abandoned by his mother, and this spinster, her name was Miss Ivy. Miss Ivy looked after Noel, and she had also taken in 2 other children. She was a very poor lady, but very rich in spirit, and a very devoted Christian. So all the children had to go to school. But I noticed that there was a double bed in the house, and all 4 of them slept in the double bed. So I started inviting Noel to spend weekends with us and summer holidays. Unfortunately, Miss Ivy died shortly after I met her, and Noel came to live with us permanently. Noel was a fighter. He wasn't very intellectual or very bright. His grades weren't that good, but he was a master at anything physical. And when he graduated from high school, I thought the best place for him would be the Army, so he entered the Jamaican Army, and he did extremely well. They thought he was so good that they sent him to the Royal Academy of Sandhurst in England, where he attended for many years, and then he came back to Jamaica as a major. Oh, we're on my paintings now, but anyway, I'll keep chatting. I told you it wasn't going to match. I think I'm finished, eh? He lives in Pittsburgh. Thank you.